What is a provider? This question is not easy to answer in one sentence. Instead of asking what provider is, let's change the question to why we need provider when making Flutter apps. Perhaps the answer to this question is almost identical. It's for state management. So now we can ask this question. What is state management and what are the state management tools provided by provider? However, unlike the state management solutions such as Flutter Block and Flutter Redux, there has been a debate about whether the provider is a state management solution. But I don't think we need to worry too much about this debate. The important thing is that you can achieve your desired goals easily and quickly. From a state management point of view, I think of provider like this. Provider provides tools to manage states, but does not enforce a specific method. Then let's take a look at each one. As you can see in the picture, widget A and widget B need data called counter. Widget A also needs a function called increment that will increment the counter when the button is pressed. The increment function increments the counter by 1 whenever the button on widget A is tapped. Now, how do we pass counter data to widget B in this case? Intuitively, the easiest way is to put the necessary data and functions in the common ancestor widget of widget A and widget B. If you look at the second picture, the data and functions required by widget A and widget B are moved to widget C, which is the common ancestor of two widgets, and the data and functions are moved down to widget A and widget B. If you look here, you can see that I wrote something complicated called inversion of control, which if explained easily, it means that I define the function, but someone else executes it. In other words, the function to increment the counter is defined in widget C, but you can say that the action to increment the counter in widget A. And therefore, in widget C, both the counter value and the increment function must be brought down to widget A. But widget B only needs counter value, right? So I'm trying to bring down the counter to widget B, but looking in the middle, there is one more widget. So we have no choice but to pass counter to the widget in the middle that does not need counter. And the middle widget also needs to pass the counter to widget B, which needs it. In summary, the middle widget needs to receive data from the parent widget that they don't need just to pass the data to its child widgets. It seems very unnecessary. Anyway, let's look at this concept with an example.